Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Neil. I am psyched today because I get to react to episode 5 of season 1 of Lost. To pull back the curtain a little bit, episode 3, my reactions to episode 3, just dropped on YouTube a few hours ago, and to say I'm blown away is putting it mildly. I never anticipated the audience that my reactions would find this quickly. I never anticipated the number of comments and the amount of encouragement I've received from all of you guys. The Lost fandom community has been so supportive, so amazing, and so passionate. And I'm stunned. I never thought a show that's 17 years old could carry fans' energy and passion for this long. But man, you guys are incredible. You guys are great. Thank you so much for all the kind words, for the wise thoughts, for not dropping spoilers. I'm blown away. I'm still doing my best to respond to every one of you, but it's honestly becoming a bit of a chore, and I don't know how I'm going to keep up. I'm going to do my very best, I promise you, but if I lose a couple of you in the jumble, my sincerest apologies. But yeah, the Lost community is great. I am so motivated at this point to see this project through to the end. I am fully committed to seeing all 121 episodes of Lost and doing my darndest to give good reactions and good comments for you guys, because frankly, you guys deserve it. This is an amazing community, and I'm really grateful to have found it. I just wish it wasn't 17 years after the fact. Anyway, a few of you have noticed that I've mentioned that I work in the film and TV industry, and I feel it's the time to spell that out a little bit. I've been in the business for about 20 years now. I'm an assistant director. And for those of you who don't know, the assistant director is not the director's assistant. We aren't coffee fetchers. We're in charge of logistics. We make the shoot happen. The best way I've ever heard it described is this. It's the director's movie. It's the producer's project. It's the production designer's world. It's the cinematographer's picture, but it's the first assistant director's set. We're in charge of the set. We schedule the shoot. We decide how to tackle the script in the best way so that it can be shot in the time allotted. And then we run set when we're actually shooting. So we are not artists. We are schedulers. We're in charge of logistics. We're leaders. And we make sure that the director gets every shot he wants, but also that it gets shot in the time the producers have given us and comes in on budget. So we have two masters. It's a fence walk a lot of the time, but I love it. It's one of the few positions in the industry where you get to work with every department. I am not, like I said, I'm not an artist, but I know a little bit about everything from cameras to set decoration, everything from props to stunts. And I will not be talking about things like lens choice and color grading and probably about editing and that sort of thing in these reactions. Hopefully I'll be just talking as a fan of television, because ultimately that's what I am. But if there's things that make me think about how did they get that shot, how did they, things that make me think about scheduling, about extras, about behind the scenes stuff, you'll get a bit of my perspective on that. Moving on. I've been taking notes. My brain's been churning about this show. Obviously, we finished up episode 4, Walkabout, with an insane reveal, one that's going to stick in my brain forever, that Locke was paraplegic until the crash, expertly revealed. So I'm so ready to get into the story again. But I've got other thoughts. I'm a guy who looks for patterns. I have a head for numbers. I noticed Lots of little things. I'm not going to throw them all out right now because I could be talking for half an hour. I'm going to parse those out over a number of episodes. But cool things that I noticed. The Aussie farmer, Ray, whose farm Kate hung out on for 3 months hiding from the law. I wonder why he had the one artificial arm. And my immediate thought is the one-armed man in The Fugitive. Kate was a fugitive. Is it just a nod to the old TV series and the movie, or is there more to it than that? I even went so far as to find out the name of the one-armed man in the TV series. It wasn't Ray, so there's no direct connection, but I thought it was a cool, interesting nod, and I wonder if it turns into something more or not. I'm really wondering, right now, Jack and Hurley are the only ones that know about Kate's past. I don't doubt that Jack can keep the secret, but I really wonder whether Hurley can. So I'll be interested to see about that. New things introduced in episode 104. Right now, Locke knows what the monster is, presumably. He stared it in the eye. It towered over him. It's not a dinosaur. It can't be a dinosaur. I would have heard if there were dinosaurs on Lost, but I don't know what else it could be. But anyway, Locke knows what it is, and he's not telling. So I'm super fascinated by that. And then there was that throwaway guy in the suit that Jack saw a couple of times. He's the only one that's seen that. Who's the random dude in the suit? My first thought was maybe it was a hallucination, but it's definitely not. He's real. Are there survivors from the tail section? Rose mentioned that. She's holding out hope that her husband's alive. On this show, nothing would surprise me at this point. I like the fact that we're returning to the cinematography is interesting enough. Like the very first episode opened with an extreme close-up of Jack's eye. And then episode 4 opened with pretty much the exact same shot, but this time of Locke. They returned to these shots. We had that shot over Locke's toe twice in the last episode. The first time right at the moment of the crash. The second time when he got knocked over, when he dove out of the way of the boar, where he's looking at his toe, not sure whether he can feel it or not. Fascinating repetition of imagery. So I'm going to be looking for that. And speaking of repetition, I'm seeing a lot more things, but I'm going to spell them out over the next few episodes. Otherwise, I could be talking here for half an hour or more. So I think without further ado, let's watch episode 5, season 1 of Lost. This one is called White Rabbit. And we're right back on a tight eye to begin with, but this is clearly a flashback. Is that Jack? Is that his brother? Is that just a friend? Who is that?
Should have stayed down, Jack.
It is Jack. Okay.
There's someone out there, look!
Who's out there? Oh, Jack's looking ripped. Swimming in pants. Not easy. Who is it? Is it someone we already know? Someone that just went for a swim and made a mistake? Or is it someone new? Losing people in the waves, man. That's hard. The ocean isn't flat when you're right in it. Is it Boone?
Just breathe.
I thought it was a woman out there.
Did you get her? What?
Oh. So Boone tried. Boone's supposed to be a lifeguard, dude. What the hell? Okay, it is a woman.
We gotta go back.
Just living, I've had the spoiler that I know that at some point people keep saying we have to go back to the island. So I find it interesting that they're already dropping that line here in episode 5. We've got to go back. Oh, go Kate. Oh, okay, they're just getting Boone. Man, they're making Jack go out again? I suck as a swimmer. I would not be good at this as this guy. Why is no one else trying? Is no one else able to swim? I feel like Locke would be all over that now that he's got his legs back.
Where was she?
So she didn't make it.
Her name was Joanna. She wasn't supposed to be on the plane.
Brutal.
We've been here 6 days and I never talked to her. I never said a word to her.
Jack,
There were
don't.
47
Yep.
of us and I never said a
You
single word to
tried.
her. No, I didn't. I
So
thought
Jack's
I'd
always
bring
had
her
this
back
thing where he
at the
has to
time.
be able to save people.
I decided not to go after her.
Yeah, but you had to save Boone. What is up with this guy in this suit? He's got to be a hallucination. Like, he can't be... Like, no normal person would just be standing in the water in a suit like that and then just disappear.
You didn't see that.
Okay, Jack, you're going
When was
crazy?
the last time you slept?
He is hallucinating. Son's got this weird interest in the dad. What's the dad's name? Walt's dad? You did see her naked.
You're in my light sticks.
Light six? What the hell is that?
Light, comma, sticks.
Watership Down? Is that what he's reading? Yeah.
How much?
I feel like
Your money's no good here.
Then what the hell do you want?
that's a dangerous question.
If you really think I'm...
$5 grand. Something tells me you're good for it.
Sawyer's just a troublemaker, isn't he? I'm liking him, though. I didn't like him at the beginning. He was such a dick in the first episode or two.
You haven't found a hairbrush in there, have you?
I'm trying to remember everyone's name, but have we even learned hers, the pregnant woman's?
It's weird, right?
I feel like I should know her name by now.
Jack? We got a problem.
He always becomes the guy that,
How many?
18.
People just kind of took what they needed because we were supposed to be rescued.
it's weird that everyone's just sort of putting Jack in charge.
That way we could ration it, and you can decide.
I'm not deciding anything.
He doesn't want to be in charge, does he?
Why not?
Because I'm not in charge. Where are we now? Okay, young Jack. And Jack's dad, who was probably also a
You
doctor.
want to tell me what happened? Don't choose, Jack. Don't decide. You don't want to be a hero. You don't want to try and save everyone. Because when you fail, you just don't have what it takes.
Man, it's a heavy conversation for your young teenage son. Those words are going to stick with him forever, as they clearly have.
Who appointed you our savior, huh?
Nobody.
What gives you the right? Look at me.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Guy in the suit. What is it his dad that he keeps seeing, or he's definitely
going?
hallucinating?
Hey!
Boone is such a beta trying to be an alpha. As far as I can tell, there's only 3 clear alphas on the island, and it's Jack, Sawyer, and Saeed. And Locke is a wild card. I mean, he was such a beta until he stopped being paraplegic. Now I don't know what he is. It's his dad.
Dad?
Okay, so it's not a tail section survivor or anything weird. He's hallucinating his dad. So weird.
Your father's
Does-
gone, Jack.
Jack just needs sleep? Is that all? Okay, so his
He's gone,
dad's
Jack.
just died.
He'll be back.
This time it's different.
Oh, he's not dead. He's literally gone.
I want you to bring him back.
Was that his trip to Australia to try and bring his
Where is
father
he?
home? Australia?
Australia.
So he wasn't traveling with his dad, so obviously he failed in bringing his dad home.
That pregnant lady fell down!
Do we know her name? Uh-oh. Are we gonna have a birth?
Claire?
Claire, okay.
Honey?
Let's remember that. Her name's Claire.
Okay. It's okay. Okay, just rest.
Where's all the water? Who's got the water?
Someone stole it.
Who took the water?
When the others find out the water's gone, it's going to get ugly. And when they find out that someone pinched it, it's going to get uglier. I'll go.
So did Jack take it?
Camp needs you two here, especially with the doctor gone. And besides, I know where to look.
Locke's got his secrets, that's for sure, doesn't he? But I find it interesting how just natural leadership kind of arises in the group. Jack, Kate, Saeed, Locke, and there's natural assistants, the Hurleys and the Charlies. Some people are natural leaders, some people are natural followers. He doesn't have the water, so someone else took the water. Who had the chance and the opportunity?
Left his wallet. Who needs a wallet?
Perhaps you should talk to the police, Mr. Shepard.
So Jack's last name is Shepard. I think that's the first we've learned of that, isn't it? I feel like this is a show where everything is symbolic, including names. And Shepard just symbolizes the leader of a flock. It is a leadership role, isn't it? A guide. It's his responsibility to take care of the entire flock. I don't think this is a show where anything is unintentional. And he's literally chasing after ghosts. He's just going to keep hurting himself over and over and fall off a cliff over a ravine. Ironically, seeing Jack dangling does not make me nervous. He's going to survive. This is hardly the weirdest thing that's happened on the island. Is he going to do it himself, or is someone going to come and save him? Is Locke going to be there last second? Yeah, there's Locke.
Hey.
What did Charlie's fingers say this time? In episode 3, they said hate, and then at the end of episode 3, he changed it to late. And then in episode 4, it just, the pinky was blanked out, and it just read 8, A-T-E. What does his tattoo say? I feel like everything matters on this show. Living is easy with eyes closed.
Who packs 400?
That's a weird tattoo.
Seriously, I can only
It
have
matters.
space for 200.
The baby.
Okay, so he's back to
This time bomb of
late.
responsibility just waiting to go off.
Maybe it still said late in episode 4 and I just missed the L. I don't know.
Who gave you this?
Sawyer steal the water? I don't see the Saeed-Sawyer relationship getting better. Until one of them saves the other one's life. So Sawyer's just got the whole underground economy going. The whiskey, the smokes, the candy, the peanuts.
Forgot something. Seeing as you're the new sheriff in town, I'll make it official.
Yeah, those leadership roles are really getting sort of determined, aren't they? I was wondering what this episode would be about when I saw the title, White Rabbit. And White Rabbit makes me think of just two things. It makes me think of, like, druggy
I
Vietnam,
don't know how to help them.
and it makes me think of Alice in Wonderland. And the White Rabbit was the one that Alice followed down the hole,
Why are
right?
you out here, Jack?
But it's also a leader. And, you know, so I think
I'm
that
going crazy.
his dad is basically his White Rabbit.
No?
But maybe Jack's also the White Rabbit for all the survivors.
All right, then you're hallucinating. But what if you're not?
We're all in a lot of trouble.
I like that there's chuckle moments in the
I'm an
show.
ordinary man, Jack. Meat and potatoes. I live in the real world. I'm not a big believer in magic.
But
But this place is different.
yeah, freaking miracle happened to you.
What if everything that happened here happened for a reason?
That's impossible.
Even if it is, let's say it's not.
So people are starting to assume roles, you know, like Jack's the leader, Kate's the sheriff, Sawyer's the merchant.
I've looked into the
Is
eyes
Locke
of this island.
going to be like the high priest of the island?
You need to finish what you started. Because a leader can't lead until he knows where he's going.
Yeah, everyone's just making Jack the leader, whether he wants it or not. Some people are just naturals at these things. They're almost archetypes, you know?
Myocardial infarction.
So his dad died of...
Sizable and fatal heart attack.
Oh, man. He was a John Doe. Couldn't save his dad. Didn't want to save his dad. But he's got this obligation to save everybody, doesn't he?
That's him.
Is he going to find water? Waterfall or a river or a creek or something? No. They're good for water. As long as you can find it in daylight. Whoa, what? There's a doll in there? Is that just like wreckage from the plane? Or is it older? I mean, maybe there were a little girl who died or something, but there's been no evidence of that. Oh, wait. Like a whole shipment of dolls. This is also sorts of creepy. There's the coffin. They got it on board. Man, he's got to like bury his father. And it's empty. Of course it's empty. So was it empty when it went on the plane, or has the body disappeared?
We have to stop waiting. We need to start figuring things out.
Mm-hmm. You and me both, Jack.
But we're all here now. And God knows how long we're going to be here.
6 seasons in a movie?
So where were you today, Jack?
Just had to take care of a few things.
That's all I'm gonna get, huh?
For now. It was kind of nice to have an episode that didn't end on an amazing cliffhanger or shocking twist. That actually had some resolution. I do feel I'm pretty confident in saying that I know flashbacks are going to be a consistent part of the show. A lot of shows use them as a consistent storytelling device. In this show, it makes a ton of sense that they do, because it's the best way for us to learn about these characters, who they were before the crash. I am fascinated. My immediate questions after this episode were, what's happened to Jack's dad's body? Where is it? Like, presumably it was in the coffin when it went on the plane, but because there wasn't customs, or who knows, I don't take anything at face value now. I've learned enough watching this show to know that you can't just trust anything at face value. So I don't know for sure what's happened to that body. It felt like there was a cave there at the waterfall. So I wonder what might be in the cave. Is there any symbolism to all the dolls there, or was that? I mean, stuff gets shipped on planes all the time, and you're gonna find weird scattered debris. But it was an odd thing to find, all those scattered dolls. So that's a curiouser and curiouser. I'm at the point now where I really want to learn more about Boone and Sawyer. I feel like these are the guys I want to learn most about next. It's too much to expect that every character on the show has a deep secret and hidden mystery. Some people are just going to be people for the time being. I'm taking characters like Charlie and Hurley at face value. But I do feel like there's some serious backstory to Boone, to Sawyer, the Korean couple. My interest is definitely peaked with them. But yeah, I'm going to watch the next episode now, because I get to do 2 a week now. Keep an eye out for that one. It will be coming out soon. I'm sticking to my Tuesday, Thursday release schedule so far. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate all your comments, all your thoughts, all your encouragement. It's really making this a fun process for me, and I'm really excited to continue to dive deeper into Lost. If you like what I'm doing, please consider giving me a thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you get notified every time I release a new video. And thank you. Cheers.